If you woke up this morning feeling just as tired as when you went to bed, or if you find yourself struggling to concentrate on simple tasks like balancing your checkbook or reading the morning paper, I want you to pause for a moment. If you are over 60, it is very easy to dismiss these feelings. We tell ourselves, well, I'm just getting older, I'm slowing down. But I am here to tell you that this fatigue is not just the passage of time. It might be a silent alarm ringing deep within your body. It could be your kidneys quietly struggling to keep up. You see, our kidneys are the unsung heroes of our daily vitality. They are the silent engine that keeps our blood clean and our energy stable. But when they start to falter, they don't scream in pain. They whisper. They whisper through that heavy fog in your mind. They whisper through that swelling in your ankles after a walk. And perhaps most dangerously, they whisper through a craving for comfort foods that might actually be making the problem worse. This brings us to a hard truth that we need to address right now. We have been told for decades that the secret to health is simply to eat more fruit and vegetables. It sounds like good common sense, doesn't it? You go to the grocery store, you fill your cart with sweet bananas, ripe mangoes, and juicy oranges, thinking you are doing your body a favor. But here is the gentle slap reality check. If your kidneys are already under stress, sweet fruit can sometimes be like adding fuel to a fire. When we eat fruits high in fructose, we spike our insulin levels. For a 20-year-old, this might not be a problem. But for us, as our systems become more delicate, that constant insulin spike forces the kidneys to work overtime to filter the blood. Instead of giving your kidneys a break to repair themselves, you are handing them a heavy workload. You are asking a tired engine to run a marathon. So, the standard advice to just eat healthy is only half the story. In fact, it can be dangerous if we don't look at the details. It is not just about adding healthy food. It is about knowing which foods act as a burden and which foods act as a medicine. It is about understanding that what you add to your diet is more important than just blindly cutting things out. Today, we are going to change the narrative. We aren't just going to talk about fruit. We are going to talk about specific, powerful tools that nature has provided to help scrub your system clean without the sugar spike. We are looking for the helpers, the cleansers, the fruits that work with your body rather than against it. We need to move away from the sugar bombs and toward the healers. By the end of this video, you will have a clear, simple list of 5 powerhouses that you can find in any supermarket. These aren't exotic, expensive supplements. These are real foods that can help you reclaim your energy and silence that alarm bell. But you have to be willing to look past the banana and the orange. You have to be ready to embrace a different kind of flavor profile, one that signals healing rather than just sweetness. Now, before we open the grocery list, we need to establish a very simple ground rule. When we are looking for friends for your kidneys, we are looking for 2 specific things. First, we need low potassium. When kidneys are tired, they struggle to filter out excess potassium. And if levels get too high, it can be dangerous for your heart. Second, we need high antioxidants. We need foods that actively fight the inflammation, the rust that damages the kidney filters over time. We are swapping out the high-sugar, high-potassium load of AA banana for fruits that act as gentle scrubbers. These are fruits that hydrate, cleanse, and protect all while keeping your blood sugar stable. Let's start with number 1, the undisputed champion of the produce aisle, the blueberry. You have probably heard them called a superfood, and for once, the hype is entirely justified. But I want you to think of them differently. I want you to think of them as tiny edible shields. The magic of the blueberry lies in its color. That deep dark blue skin is packed with anthocyanins. These are powerful compounds that reduce oxidative stress. Think of oxidative stress like rust on a car. It slowly eats away at the machinery. For your kidneys, that rust creates scar tissue and reduces function. Blueberries help stop that rust. What makes them perfect for us is that they are naturally low in potassium and phosphorus, the 2 minerals we have to watch closely. You can eat a generous handful without worrying about burdening your system. They provide a burst of sweetness, but it is a gentle sweetness wrapped in fiber that slows down absorption. When you eat them, imagine that color traveling through your blood, coating your vessels and soothing the inflammation that has been quietly building up for years. Next on our list, number 2, we have red grapes. Notice I said red, not green. While green grapes are delicious, the red ones carry a secret weapon in their skins called resveratrol. You might have heard of resveratrol in relation to heart health or red wine, but for your kidneys, it acts as a flow enhancer. It helps relax the blood vessels. Remember, your kidneys are essentially a dense knot of tiny blood vessels. If those vessels are tight or inflamed, the kidneys can't filter waste properly. It's like trying to drink a thick milkshake through a tiny coffee stirrer. Resveratrol helps widen that straw, allowing blood to flow freely and waste to be flushed out more efficiently. A quick tip for the grocery store: look for grapes that are firm and dark, and for a refreshing treat that helps with chewing sensitivity, try freezing them. They turn into little sorbet bites that melt in your mouth, giving you hydration and healing without the sugar crash of a popsicle. Now we arrive at number 3. This is the one on the list that surprises most people because chances are you have ignored it for years. Or perhaps you only think of it once a year at Thanksgiving, boiled down into a sugary jelly. I am talking about cranberries. Most seniors skip cranberries because of the taste. They are tart. They are sour. They make your mouth pucker. But that tartness, that is exactly what makes them the missing link in your kidney health protocol. That sour flavor is the taste of medicine. We often associate cranberries with bladder infections or UTI, but their power goes much deeper. They contain a specific type of antioxidant called proanthocyanidins. Now, that is a mouthful to say, so let's just call them non-stick agents. These compounds prevent harmful bacteria from sticking to the walls of your urinary tract and your kidneys. Think of your kidneys like a filter in your sink. Over time, gunk tries to stick to the mesh, clogging it up. Cranberries act like a non-stick coating for that mesh. They ensure that bacteria and toxins slide right through and leave your body rather than setting up camp and causing low-grade infections that burden your immune system. If you have been ignoring cranberries because they aren't sweet enough, you have been missing out on one of nature's most effective cleansers. Moving on to number 4, we have a tropical powerhouse, pineapple. Now, I know what you are thinking. Isn't pineapple sweet? Yes, it is. So, portion control is key here. We are talking about thin slices, not a whole bowl. But we include it for one very specific reason: an enzyme called bromelain. Bromelain is fascinating because it is a proteolytic enzyme, which means it digests our protein in the body. It acts as a powerful anti-inflammatory agent that hunts down inflammation in the tissues. Kidney stress often comes with systemic inflammation. Your whole body feels puffy and sore. Bromelain helps soothe that fire. It also helps break down the protein byproducts that your kidneys are working so hard to filter. It's like having a sous chef in the kitchen chopping up the vegetables so the main chef, your kidneys, doesn't have to work as hard. Just remember, fresh is best. Canned pineapple often swims in heavy syrup, which defeats the purpose. Finally, number 5. It is humble, it is affordable, and it is likely sitting in your fruit bowl right now. The apple. Specifically, we want the skin on. Apples are rich in pectin, a soluble fiber. I want you to visualize pectin like a soft, gelatinous sponge moving through your digestive system. As it moves, it binds to toxins like cholesterol and excess sugars before they can even reach your bloodstream. It sweeps them up and carries them out of the body. This is crucial because it reduces the filtration load on the kidneys by catching these toxins early in the gut. The apple prevents them from ever reaching the kidney filter. It is the ultimate preventative maintenance. Plus, apples act as a natural breath freshener and a gum stimulator, which is helpful if you deal with that metallic taste that sometimes comes with kidney issues. These 5 fruits, blueberries, red grapes, cranberries, pineapple, and apples, form the foundation of a kidney-safe diet. They are the tools we use to turn the tide. But knowing what to eat is only the first step. You need to know that it actually works. Information and lists are useful, but sometimes we need to see how this works in the real world. We need to see that it is possible to turn the ship around, even when you feel like you are drifting too far out to sea. Let me tell you about Margaret. Margaret is a woman who reminds me of many of you watching right now. She is 74 years old, a retired school teacher, and someone who has always prided herself on doing the right thing. She never smoked. She walked around her neighborhood every morning and she watched her salt intake. But about a year ago, Margaret started feeling that silent alarm we talked about earlier. She would wake up tired. By 2 p.m. she was exhausted, needing a nap just to make it to dinner. Her legs felt heavy, like she was walking through deep water. She chalked it up to just getting old. Then came her annual checkup. She sat on that crinkly paper on the exam table, expecting a routine, all clear. Instead, her doctor walked in with a frown. He told her that her creatinine levels were high, too high. Her glomerular filtration rate had dropped. Her kidneys were under significant stress. Margaret was shocked. She asked, "But doctor, I eat healthy. I eat fruit every single day." And that was exactly the problem. You see, for years, Margaret's go-to breakfast was a bowl of oatmeal and a large banana. Often, she would have a second banana as an afternoon snack because they were soft on her teeth, cheap to buy, and she thought they were the perfect food. She didn't realize that for her struggling kidneys, that daily load of potassium was like asking a man with a broken leg to carry a heavy backpack. She was unknowingly spiking her levels, forcing her kidneys to work overtime to filter out a mineral they could no longer handle efficiently. She left that appointment terrified. The doctor gave her a pamphlet on renal diets, which mostly looked like a list of things she couldn't eat. She felt stripped of her autonomy. She felt like her body had betrayed her. She went home and stared at her fruit bowl, afraid to eat anything. That is when Margaret decided to take back control. She realized that starving herself wasn't the answer. She needed to swap her fuel source. She stumbled upon the research regarding low potassium, high antioxidant fruits, the very list we just discussed. She made a brave choice. She took the bananas off the counter. It wasn't easy at first. Margaret had a sweet tooth. When she looked at item number 3, the cranberries, she was skeptical. "I'm not eating sour berries," she told herself. "That's for Thanksgiving sauce." But she remembered the doctor's face. She remembered the fear. So, she decided to try. She started incorporating blueberries into her oatmeal instead of the banana. She started snacking on red grapes from the freezer instead of cookies. And yes, she faced the cranberries. She didn't eat them raw. That would be too harsh. She learned a simple way to prepare them that made them palatable, turning them into a daily medicine rather than a chore. 3 months later, Margaret went back to the doctor. She was nervous. She sat on that same exam table, wringing her hands. The doctor came in, looked at her blood work, and then looked at her. "Margaret," he asked. "What have you been doing?" Her heart sank. She thought she had made it worse. He smiled. "Your potassium levels are back in the safe zone. Your creatinine has dropped. Your numbers are better than they were 2 years ago." Margaret didn't just get better numbers on a piece of paper. She got her life back. The afternoon nap stopped. The heavy feeling in her legs lifted. She had the energy to return to her garden. She realized that she wasn't just getting old. She had just been fueling her engine with the wrong grade of gasoline. Margaret's story is powerful because it proves that you are not helpless. You are not a victim of your age. With a few smart, strategic adjustments, swapping the sweet burden for the sour cleanser, you can give your kidneys the break they desperately need to heal themselves. But now you might be asking the practical question. Okay, I understand the what, but how do I handle the how? How do I eat cranberries without puckering my face? How do I fit this into my day without spending a fortune? That is exactly what we are going to cover next. We have the list and we have the proof. Now, we need the plan. It is one thing to know that cranberries are good for you. It is another thing entirely to stand in your kitchen and figure out how to eat them without making a face at the sourness. We also need to be realistic about our bodies. As we age, our digestion slows down. Our teeth might not be as strong as they once were. Raw, hard fruit can sometimes be a challenge. So, here is your vitality protocol. Smart, senior-friendly ways to prepare these fruits so they are gentle on your stomach, easy to chew, and delicious to eat. Step 1 is the cranberry gentle stew. Let's solve the cranberry problem first. Please do not try to eat them raw like popcorn. They are too acidic and tough. Instead, I want you to try what I call the gentle stew. Take a cup of fresh or frozen cranberries and put them in a small saucepan. Add a splash of water, just enough to cover the bottom, and toss in 1 cinnamon stick. Turn the heat to low and let them simmer for about 10 minutes. You will hear them pop. That popping sound is the tough skins breaking down, releasing all that medicinal juice. The heat softens the acidity. The cinnamon adds a natural sweetness without sugar. If it is still too tart for you, slice up half of a red apple and throw it in the pot. The natural sugar from the apple will balance the tartness of the cranberry perfectly. You end up with a warm, soft compost that is easy to chew and feels soothing going down. You can spoon this over a little bit of yogurt or just eat it warm from a bowl like a dessert. This was Margaret's secret. Step 2 is the warm berry morning. For the blueberries, if you find that cold fruit hurts your teeth or causes bloating, stop eating them straight from the fridge. Instead, when you make your oatmeal or cream of wheat, drop the blueberries in while it is cooking. Let them burst. This releases the anthocyanins into the porridge, turning the whole bowl a beautiful purple, but more importantly, it breaks down the fiber just enough to make it easier for your gut to handle. You are pre-digesting the food with heat, so your body doesn't have to work as hard to get the nutrients. Step 3 is the rule of the palm. Now, a word of caution. Just because these fruits are cleansers does not mean you can eat unlimited amounts. Remember, even healthy fruit contains sugar, and your kidneys prefer stability. Use the rule of the palm. Your serving of fruit should roughly fit in the palm of your hand. That is 1 apple, a cup of berries, or a small wedge of pineapple. This simple visual guide keeps you safe. It ensures you get the medicine without the metabolic spike. Step 4 is the clean rinse. Finally, and this is critical, you must wash your produce effectively. Pesticides are invisible toxins that your kidneys have to filter out. We don't want to add toxins while trying to remove them. You don't need expensive veggie washes. A simple soak in a bowl of water with a tablespoon of baking soda for 15 minutes, followed by a good rinse, can remove a significant amount of surface residue. You now have a new toolkit. You understand that the silent alarm of fatigue isn't just aging. It is a signal. You know that standard advice is only half the story, and that specific choices like swapping the banana for the blueberry can change your trajectory. You have the power to protect your engine. You don't have to drift into frailty. You can choose meal by meal to support your body. I want to leave you with one question today, and I really want to see your answer in the comments below. We all have different tastes, and starting a new habit can be hard. So, tell me, which of these 5 fruits are you going to add to your grocery list this week? Are you going to be a blueberry believer, or are you brave enough to take the cranberry challenge? Write your answer down below. I read the comments because I want to know who is taking this journey with us. Here is to your health, your vitality, and your quiet strength. I'll see you in the next.